The Teamsters have a well-established track record of corruption in their union representation and negotiations at the bargaining table. The Teamsters raids today on the property at U.S. Airways and American Airlines are just the latest example of their long history of union raiding. This practice goes all the way back to 1948, when the Teamsters crossed an IM picket line at Boeing. The machinists went on strike to protect seniority rights, and the Teamsters crossed that union picket line, and they recruited strikebreakers in an attempt to represent Boeing workers. The strike ended when the union returned to work without a new agreement, thanks to the Teamsters. The NLRB held a representation election in 1949 between the IM and the Teamsters. All workers, even the strikebreakers, were allowed to vote in the election, and the IM still won by 2-to-1 margin. The membership of the Boeing rejected the strike-breaking union, the Teamsters. The IM went on strike to protect worker seniority rights in 1948, and the Teamsters tried to break that strike. In 2011, the Teamsters gave away our IM negotiated seniority rights for wage accrual on furlough, and they also gave away premium classification. It's right here in this document. Don't allow the Teamsters to strip away your seniority rights like they did it to us at United Airlines. In 1957, the Teamsters were kicked out of the AFL-CIO for corrupt union practices. In 1989, the Teamsters agreed to settle a federal racketeering lawsuit that charged the union was controlled by the mob. That action helped put in place the IRB that I talked about the other day. And to this day, the IRB oversees the Teamsters Union at a cost of millions of dollars in union member dues every year. Teamster union leaders also have a long history of corruption, embezzling union member dues money, and mismanaging union worker pension plans and health and welfare funds. You can read about it in the Teamsters magazine that is delivered to your door if you're unfortunate enough to be represented by the Teamsters. Today, workers and retirees are paying for that poor representation. You can read about that at the TDU. These are only a few of the reasons that the membership in the Teamsters has dropped by over 50,000 in 2012. In 1 year, 50,000 union workers turned their back on the Teamsters' poor representation. The mechanics at U.S. Airways should do the same. Even their own national organizing committee doesn't want to be represented by the Teamsters. The Teamsters organizing department in Washington, D.C. voted to be represented by a separate union, but not the IBT. Let me put it to you this way. The people that are asking you to join the so-called Organizing for Power Teamsters aren't even foolish enough to fall for the lies they're selling you. Read the facts for yourself, and don't be fooled like the mechanics at United Airlines. The entire time I've been explaining about the corruption in the Teamsters Union, the scrolling list over my shoulder has shown the hundreds of thousands of Teamster members who have rejected the corrupt and poor representation of the Teamsters. 93% of American workers are not represented. The Teamsters' reputation for corruption and poor representation has left them to be a union that feeds off of AFL-CIO unions, like the IM and the TWU. Learn from our mistake at United Airlines, and don't believe the Teamster organizing lies.